Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to honor a legacy of excellence, recognizing the phenomenal Dennis McManus. A lifetime of extraordinary and unselfish leadership, full of integrity and honor. That's what you've done, Dennis, for us. It's extra special having an opportunity to have worked with him when the mayor was in the state house and the Institute of Politics interns who came to our office. And that relationship really was very special because we had opportunity to have some young, aspiring young folks who were interested in politics, interested in government, interested in serving. And I was able to come over and be part of us. And we had about 10 interns that came through there. 10 came through our office. It started off with Alicia Craig. I call her the standard. When she came through there, she set the bar high for all those who came behind, as far as what it was to be an intern from IOP and State Rep Gaines' office. Then we had, not in certain order, Aaron Hill, that name. Yeah. He came through. He's in Cleveland. I think he's a lawyer now. Wow. Jan Neese, who came through this, also outstanding. Jennifer Wong, Madison Ricker. I kept all these in my phone too, so I can tell you. Molly Hayden came through. One of my favorites was Sharon George. She was quiet, but she was powerful and very effective. But the one I thought who was another one who was quiet but carried a very, very big stick was Yuri King. Yeah, who came through, Yuri King. And I don't know if it was Aaron or was Zoe. One of them won the prestigious award that they give to the outstanding intern. Maybe two of them did that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think those were the two. And Camille Millie Rodriguez came through. Or especially pleased with this last one is Stephanie Gagey. Gagey. All right, get me Stephanie if you see me. But matter of fact, Stephanie is now part of Mayor Gaines' administration. She's gonna try to get by before this is over. She had to meet Dennis. So I just got a few words here. I describe you, Dennis. There's a lot of folks who come through this building. You fit in as well. There are words that we describe you here on the 5th floor. And as I say these words, you need to say them back to me if you like. All right. All right. We're gonna start off with he is remarkable, extraordinary, standing, exceptional, incredible, astonishing, unbelievable, amazing, sensation, spectacular, fantastic, unforgettable, unique, impressive, awesome, phenomenal, and marvelous. Most of all, Dennis, you have served and continue to serve with a heart of gold. And we really uplift you today for that. And this is coming from our heart to your heart. And at this time, it's my honor to bring to you our Mayor, Ed Gaines.
So Dennis, let me tell you how we got it. Coming in the office, I know a lot of people that do a lot of tremendous work, but they never get recognized, you know. And then when they're no longer amongst us, people always want to talk about them, talking about how great they were. And I always tell people that we should give the people the roses while they're present. For some reason, we bought into this notion that we should give it to them when they're not. And I believe we should give it to them when we're here. And a lot of people that do it out of the kindness and the bigness of their heart are the ones that really don't get recognized. It's always the ones that bloat and gloat about what they do, but at the end of the day, you don't see the difference they've made. But people could actually see the difference that you've made in everyone that you touched. And that's the reality of it. And I don't want to make this just any proclamation. I don't believe in that because I believe that love is universal. That's what I believe. And I believe that each one of them here love you, but they love you for different reasons. And sometimes we don't get an opportunity to express why or what your love meant to them and the difference it made in their life. But I think sometimes that we should let you know Because some people just say, I love you, and then everybody gets this idea that everybody loves you for the same reason. They don't. You know what I mean? It's always a different reason. So I'm going to ask some of y'all to come up here and express the difference he's made in your life. Because if you find love in the difference, I want you to tell him what it is about Dennis that made him special and the reason you love him. Who will go first? Now, I will call names. You know, I will call names. Oh, the wife? Come on, wife.
You could have to Google first.
I definitely was not expecting this. I'm not sure where to begin because it was back in 1972 when I came to Pittsburgh. So one thing that's important is I think he has made me a Pittsburgher. You know, yeah. Yeah. Other than that, we went to school together. Both went to public speaking as majors. He carried that through his entire professional career. I did not. I gravitated and went into risk and compliance. But I don't know, just being with him and watching him and seeing how he really cares about what he's doing and what he's working on, who he's working with, has been enormous for me. So I could go on forever, but you don't want me to do that. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Who's next? Who's next?
You weren't a crier, so there's a couple of reasons that I really love Denny. And one is, as Margie said, the four of us came here in 1972 to go to college and became friends and became very, very good friends. And Jeff and I are from York, PA. We had no family friends in Pittsburgh. We had no family in Pittsburgh. And Denny and Eddie and Margie and their family, like, literally adopted us into their family. In fact, I remember one time Denny was considering a job in Harrisburg, and his mom said to us, well, that's okay as long as you two stay in Pittsburgh. But every holiday, Christmas, you know, our Google Photos file is loaded with our kids sitting on Eddie's lap playing Santa Claus, and Mother's Day brunches. And my mom became friends with Denny's mom. And so that's one of the many reasons we love him so much, is that he made us Pittsburghers and gave us a Pittsburgh family. On the professional side, I just have to say, we all know Danny. We've all had the pleasure of working with him. I've had the pleasure of being a friend, but also through the years, because this is Pittsburgh, our cross-passing professionally. And I could always count on Denny for advice and guidance. He's a straight shooter. He's loaded with integrity. He does the right thing for the right reasons. And he always served as a North Star. So one of the many things that I love you for.
Thanks.
I gotta invest. You know, you learn something new every day. Denny. Huh? Denny. Wow. Okay, Denny. All right. Who's next? Come on, we need three. Okay, there we go. Come on.
Hi, so I met Denny working with the Food Justice Fund, Pittsburgh Food Policy Council. And I'm gonna be honest, he's amazing. He's fantastic. Everything marvelous they said he is. It's hard to find someone who does something truly from the heart and not looking for recognition. And has a soul that truly cares, not just here because they're here, but here because that when he does it, you can see it. He's not smiling on the outside, but you can tell from the inside he's smiling because he did what was right for people, and he's truly about people. So me, who also loves people and do what I do for people, if I get to meet anybody in this world, I'm glad God blessed me to meet you. So thanks for
I need two more. Who's next? Come on. Right. Ed, I was getting ready to call you. I love your name. See that?
So I met Denny 2 years ago at the Institute of Politics. And when I first got into the role, I didn't know what to expect, but Denny and Nello, they oversee, I think, our largest program for students who are interested in going into politics. And they were like, give me your cell phone. Like, okay. And so, Denny will give me a call, and I'm thinking the call will be 10 minutes, maybe an hour. Okay, Denny, what are we discussing? And, in the midst of just like, getting the program together, him just giving me a history of Western PA politics. I am from Pittsburgh, but again, I don't know all the rich history like Denny does. So him just imparting that knowledge and wisdom to me every time we speak, and then just how students gravitate toward that class. Like, again, the applications increase every year when it comes to that program. And I think it's because Denny cares. Students can see that, they can feel that, they're able to learn from you. So again, IOP wouldn't be what it is without you. So again, I'm glad that I met you. And again, now I enjoy our conversations that we have.
What are you doing this afternoon?
I wasn't expecting this. I've known Denny longer than anyone. Or even a mother. Went through high school with him, not high school, but college. I was his best man at his wedding. He was best man of mine. We've been friends for years. We get together. We always have a great time. I'm not surprised he's getting this honor, but I am impressed. I mean, I realize that there's many people knew him the way I did. That yeah, I'm real proud of you there.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
And that's coming peak time hibernating of the year winner. So he knows,
Yeah,
it's an honor.
I have many stories, but probably not appropriate for you.
Yeah.
So,
Anybody else?
I'm gonna get the hug first. It's a blessing for me to be here today with all of you for this reason. Years ago, with the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank and its work in the region and trying to address a major social issue that continues to be with us to this day, and I would say we're not making a whole lot of progress, but we were so fortunate as a charity in this county to be able to come to a point in our development that we could have a whole position dedicated to relating our issue into the public sector and public policy. And when that happened, it was just amazing to me a miracle, that when I opened the resumes, there was the one for Denny. We had met Denny professionally from the food bank in our work with trying to promulgate a hunger study and get the word out into the community more. And for Denny to see in our organization a place where he could commit his time, his energy, and is universally said here, a real caring about whatever he does. And to have that intersect with the mission of the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank for as many years as you gave to us, Denny, is just immeasurable. And I would not even begin to think that I knew even half of the relationships that Denny had in his position there with people in every level of government, and in making the impact that it has in the stature that the food bank has today, in being able to go into any office of a public servant and have a credible message to share, and to be able to carry and stand, Denny, on your shoulders. And that was our institution. But we had all the food banks in Pennsylvania, all of them looking to Denny for his counsel in their communities to do what they did. And then the national organizations, Feeding America, other ones that also benefited from, Denny, all of your experience, your commitment, passion. And I can say, as an employer, Denny never said no. He never said no. The generosity, and I look to Margie and his family to that too, because he gave so much and continues to give so much.
So when I heard about the work with the Food Policy Council and all of that is another part of Denny's extension, I said, go Denny, because he wasn't done yet. He just wasn't done yet. And we just all have benefited so much. And I haven't talked about at all the number of people who are vulnerable in our country who were impacted, Denny, by your advocacy. And that is just something you will never know either. And I say in my note to you, educator, which we heard here with all the work that was done there and the young people's lives that were impacted there, all the employees and the people who you related to professionally, and then the people who benefited ultimately from your work. As a witness, I think, of God today, I say to you, well done, good and faithful servant. Well done.
Piggyback to Dennis, I have to say this. As I wind down my time here in the mayor's office, and I look at those individuals who've come and sat in that chair, such as you today, I couldn't find anyone better to end this type of ceremony with you. Because the way we connected at the time that we met and the way that we worked together. And there was mutual respect, there was mutual honor, and I believe there was mutual love between them. And I still feel that today. So I didn't want to not have opportunity to say that to you, brother. Appreciate you, love you. Look forward to continue working with you in some kind of capacity. Legacy of excellence. There it is.
Before I start, I want to say thank you to Ms. McManus. I know how hard it is to deal with someone that's in the public. I know how difficult it can be for a wife. I know how joyful it can be, but I also know that sometimes just the pressure of it can be great. And so before I say anything else, I want to recognize you and say thank you for allowing him to be who he is. Seriously, that's you know, that's a wife and a mom. You know, sometimes we get into this and we don't recognize those that have sacrificed for others to live the way that God intended them to live. And so I think y'all should give her another round of applause. So I'm gonna read this, but if I didn't, I know out there in social media now, my mama's watching. If I don't say what I'm gonna say, I'm gonna get a call. You ever get a call from your mama? You know, there's a couple kind of calls. And you ain't even gotta answer the phone to know what type of ring it is, you know? But it was one, I was telling my mom I was doing some work with the food banking that, you know, I met a guy named Dennis McManus. And she said, D, my Dennis. She said, I go all the way back to Pitt. And I said, what? What are you talking about? She was like, yeah, we worked together at Pitt. I said, you sure? I said, let me describe them to you. See if we're on the same page. And because for me, it was like, this city is sure enough 6 degrees of separation. I mean, who would have ever thought that the son of a mother would be someone that she worked with in the 70s? You understand what I'm saying? So it was mind blowing. And so when things are mind blowing, I don't always think they're about coincidence. It just can't be. It can't be. Not like that. Not that connection, that relationship. So my mama told me to tell you hello. I am delivering on my promise. When the phone rings, I can pick up and be like, yeah, I did my job too. But whereas the esteemed, loved, respected, and admired Dennis McManus is being recognized and honored for dedicating and serving in government as an advisor, convener, advocate, lobbyist, and administrator who has helped make the city of Pittsburgh a better place to live. And whereas during 3 decades on the staff of the University of Pitt, Dennis played critical roles in obtaining annual operating and capital appropriations, as well as state support for the establishment of the Pittsburgh Cancer Institute and Pittsburgh Supercommuting Center. And whereas Dennis initiated and managed the creation of the University of Pittsburgh's Institute of Politics intern seminar, over the past 35 years, this unique program has placed hundreds of undergrad students in the offices of elected officials throughout Allegheny County. That's amazing. That's over the, I just wanted to know, over the past 35 years, this unique program has placed hundreds of undergrad students in the offices of elected officials throughout Allegheny County. That's amazing. That's wow. Many seminar graduates are now employed at all levels and branches of government. It's called the power of exposure. And whereas Dennis successfully lobbied for legislation that enabled shared jurisdiction in the city and the University of Pittsburgh's police to improve off-campus public safety, crime reporting transparency, and joint commercial academic development on Forbes Avenue. As a founder of the Oakland Business Improvement District, as a founder of the Oakland Business Improvement District and the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award, he was instrumental in creating the Entity Quarter Century. The Entity Quarter Century continues to make the area attractive and more welcoming. Ladies and gentlemen, let's rise as we honor Dennis McManus today, as we make this your day in our most livable city. God bless.
It's not often you get to attend your own funeral. Just a man, I feel actually I'm having a good day. Anyhow, I'd like to start out by thanking Jeff for not saying anything. Which, no, because he probably would have lied about my golfing, and that would have been pretty terrible. Anyhow, Brother Mel said that I would have the opportunity to say a few words today, but he didn't specify how many a few words were. But today being the 161st anniversary of Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, and the speech having been long praised for not so much its eloquence, although it was eloquent, but especially for its brevity. I'm going to attempt to limit my remarks to the 272 words it took for Lincoln to say what he had to say. And since I already said 70 of them, I better get to it. And some of this is going to be repetitious, given what you may have already heard or what you did already hear. But my interest in government and politics really goes back to 1960 with the election of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. But getting paid for this interest only goes back to 1974, when I was hired as a student research assistant at the Pitt Governmental Relations Office. And one of my very favorite coworkers was a young lady named Darlene Gaynor. From time to time, she would bring her 4-year-old son, I think we actually called him Little Eddie, to the 37th floor of the cathedral. And as you can tell, he got bigger. I did, of course, did not. The ever-wise Nella Giorgetti, who is my partner in crime when it comes to trying to educate the future public officials of tomorrow, at least educate people about politics and government, once said that Pittsburgh is just the same 5 people bumping into each other again and again, and that kind of proves it. I also was grateful to remain at least in touch with Darlene over the years, because at one point it was my son's, I don't know, 5th or 6th or 7th take your kid to work day. And I don't know if you've ever been to a government affairs office, but if you're just in the office, there ain't a whole lot going on. And so I said, so you're gonna come tomorrow or next week or whatever? And he says, I really don't want to. And I said, well, what do you want to do? Well, this is when like Crossing Jordan was like a big TV show. And he said, do you know anybody in the coroner's office? Now, this being Pittsburgh, of course I know somebody in the coroner's office. And so I called Darlene and said, hey, you mind if I drop my kid off tomorrow morning for, to hang out at the coroner's office? And she said, yeah, sure. So anyhow, got there, ate some free donuts. Got a call later in the day. Darlene says, do you mind if he sees a couple autopsies? I said, I'm going to ask him. So anyhow, saw a couple autopsies. And then the two of them, your mom and my son, chased Cyril Wecht up 3 flights of stairs so they could get a photo. And if you ever saw this picture of Cyril, he's got his tie like this and his hair, what he had of it, it really looked like Chester the Molester had been at the coroner's office. My kid. But anyhow, I was nonetheless grateful to your mom for being so kind as to make at least one take your kids to work day actually interesting. So really, a half century later, for me to get a proclamation from that little boy, who is now our mayor, is I think he touched upon it. It's really pretty amazing. And so let me close with a bunch of thank yous. So thank you, Mr. Mayor, because as I mentioned earlier, turns out you can't get a mayoral proclamation unless the mayor actually gives it to you. And so thank you. Thank you, Brother Mel, not only for arranging this, but for your long and faithful service to our community, including being one of the best mentors our Pitt students had. And I'd like to thank Lori too for being very, very instrumental when we placed folks in your office, in making that not only an incredible educational experience, but also just personally, they just find it so great to be among you folks. And if we had, not all of our placements are like that. I'm not naming names. Anyhow, so, and by the way, since you indicated you're probably going to have some more time on your hands, let's grab coffee at the Everyday Cafe as soon as you get. That's my new. I'm earning points there every time I stop by. And then you said I could invite some people, so I invited some people, and some of them actually showed up, and so I want to thank them. My twin brother Ed, and frankly, my favorite suburban. I still like to get him to move back into the city at some point, but I don't think that's going to happen, as he pointed out. I've known him longer than anybody, and Margie, of course, for her love and support, her supreme patience with me. Anything you heard nice about me would not have been possible. My dear friends BJ and Jeff, both of whom were City of Pittsburgh executives. So they used to run this government. Yeah, well, it's nice to have them back in their own old stomping grounds. But really, Mary, you really had to send a thank you to York, PA, for allowing them to make this city so much better than it would have been without them. Joyce, my former boss, who seldom bossed me around, but it is still not only a friend, but still a major inspiration for me in working for justice and trying to end hunger. You talk about somebody that's given a lifetime to an effort. In fact, I was just saying to her, I was hoping to make a meeting. She's still very instrumental with a group called Bread for the World, which is a Christian group addressing hunger nationally, and internationally. But that conflicted with a meeting for the aforementioned Food Justice Fund Committee, which, among other things, has given me the opportunity to get to know and to work with Tara Collins and other people. And even though the money's not at the door yet, and we'll talk about that in a minute. No, it really has been post-retirement one of the most important things I've been engaged in. Dr. Peacock, what can I say? She's been in just in the space of 2 years, the program's been around for 35. She's been really so helpful in making things run smoothly and putting up with two old guys who don't do so well with technology and who are not in either case particularly well organized. So really, we do appreciate everything you do for us. Did I miss anybody? I don't know, and frankly, I mean, like I said, I don't know what to say. Anyhow, it's I think 530 words. But I've been told I'm somewhat better looking than Lincoln, so I got that going for me. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate it. Thanks.